So in this lesson, we're going to get our camera so it follows our player more effectively. Um, One thing, make sure you've done that you have gone and added the player input component. So you're typing player input right here and putting that in, and of course you got that from the package manager. And make sure when you come here, if you want to see all the packages, you go to the registry, not just what's in your project or your assets are built in. Registry, and then go get the input manager, which is here, and install it. Then you're going to put it inside your player by adding the component down here. And once you do, you're going to click on this. There's going to be a create button right inside here. And you're going to click on it. Um, and you're going to create a new folder called input. When it prompts you, just create a new folder right where it prompts you to do it. And then you're going to open that folder and type in input actions inside the folder. And it actually says to do that right here. Create actions, new folder input, and then once you click on that input and open it, you're going to save input actions inside there. Okay, so make sure you have all that in, otherwise your player may not play. Okay, so for our camera, and also make sure you're creating new folders. Right click, create folder for your scripts, your materials, etc. So here is my camera script. And this is a lot more effective than you just going ahead and dragging the camera inside the player, because that usually doesn't work so well. So we're creating a new script, camera controller. We're going to create some variables. Remember, right after the first curly bracket, one we can control or one we can actually fill. So when we do a game object, that means we're going to fill that slot. Whenever you type this, mean you're going to fill the slot with a object from your game. And then we're going to get the vector 3. So when the game starts, we want to get the position of the um, player, or actually of the player. So we're going to get the player position, get it, and then get the player's transforms, where it is, its rotation, etc., etc. And then as the game moves, remember you're going to change this to late update. We have like fixed update, late update. This is more effective for following. We're going to transform the position of the uh, camera to follow the player. So the position of the camera is going to be the same position as the player, less the offset, less the distance it is away that you've moved it from the player. So it will take that in effect. So with mine, if I look at my camera, I have moved it back some and I've moved it up. When it was down here, I couldn't see it when it hit the wall. It was really ineffective for me, so I moved it a little bit closer and I moved it up using the move tool here. Moving it to where I got it and then got it saved. So this is the offset. This is the distance it's going to stay apart. Now, once we create that empty game object, we got to fill it. So when we create an empty game object, we're putting that script on our player, or you created a new script while on the camera. That's the easiest way to do it. Um, New script and then name it while you're already on the player. Anyway, but you're going to drag that player in. So now it's going to follow the player. So you're going to take your player and you're going to drag it inside this, fill this slot. That's what happens when we use a game object in the script. So go ahead and write that script. Make sure it's on your camera. Drag your player in and get your camera the way you like it, so that it sees the scene like the way you like it. And like I said, with the new script we're using and that new player input, we were going to collide with things. So that means, we're going to collide with stuff instead of be moving like we were before. where we didn't collide with anything. So, and then we'll go slowly pick up the ball, and we should be able to collide with anything inside the game. So I collide with that. If you want to make that cube, go ahead and um, create a cube. And here's my settings. Um, Mine is 4.65. It doesn't matter where they are there, but it's a 45-degree angle, and my scale is 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. So these are my settings. So this is just where I put it in my game. So the position doesn't matter, rotation does, and get the size you like. I may make mine a little bit better, bigger. And then we're going to make that a prefab, but we'll do that next lesson. If you're going to do that, you might also create the rotating script, and you should be able to do this with your eyes closed. And that is transform.rotate instead of transform.translate. So transform.rotate, and we're going to get a new vector 3 when the game starts, and it's rotating 15 on the X, 30 on the Y, and 45 on the Z, and there is no right or wrong. So you can put this inside here, and you could also change the speed. So you could come up here and create a public variable. If I can spell it right. I think I used speed before, so I'm going to put rotating. Yeah, because we've used speed before. If we put speed in again, um, the speed of your player is going to be affected by this. So, and then we would just have times speed, and then times delta time. Oh, yeah, right. I just said don't use speed, didn't I? And once you start typing this, it should come up once you create that variable. And save it. So now when my game is playing, um, I can change that. So if I look at my game and it's playing and I don't like the speed of my token, I can make it, it's 2 right now, let's make it 10. See what it looks like. Yeah. So whatever you want. We're going to make this a prefab, but we'll go through that in the next lesson. So anyway, get your game going, make sure it's playing. And as for the last lesson, you're going to build and run an itch and submit the link to your project. You can keep changing the project, so you can use the same project, just keep editing it and submitting the same link. And each time I click on it, it'll have more to it. You can always have more for the assignment, but don't have less. So make sure this, in this case, the camera's following it. And if you want to put the token in there, go ahead.